Hello everybody, today I want to make a card with a library, and this is just a concept. It's going to be a pop-up scene again, and I just quickly made some kind of like a bookshelf. I'm going to do it a bit different, just so you see. I want to have that pop up in here, and I also want to have the shelves pop up. So in the end I can put something. You don't see it well, just a concept. I can put stuffs on the shelves. I want to have this in a nice brown paper and hot foil it. And then I have prepared some stuffs. So on the inside I want to have this as the tapestry. And this as the carpet. And then also a white spot to write the message. On the outside I have the same patterns, just in the bigger size. So this is gonna be my background, my tapestry and the carpet. But also I want to have a window here, and there you would see the sky and the little tree thing. I'll show that later. And for decorating I have very many stamp sets. So I have the couch from this one. This is a window scene winter. The couch goes here, and also want it to be a pop-up element on the inside. Then I have City Goose, because they are reading. I wanted all the reading stamps. The cats, maybe. I just took a lot, and that's Meow You Doing. I don't know if I use them all. Then those reading ones. Little Woodland Library, the Little Woodland Library Friends. And the little, oh no, that's that one, the Little Woodland Library add-on, I think. And this one, because this works well with this squirrel, for example. This is Backyard Bird Feeder add-on. So there's more material I'm going to use, but this is just the first bulk I wanted to have out of my way. And here we get started with the Glimmer hot foil machine from Spellbinders. I want to hot foil the library, the shelf, also the window. So I'm taking this hot foil stamp that I have from Lawn Fawn with a wood grain, and I put it already on the machine whilst it's still warming up. That takes about 5 to 10 minutes. I arrange my hot foil with a shiny side downwards because we want to see that in the end. Then I wait for the light to turn green. Made sure that I reached the hot foil. Now the light is on green. I push the button and it starts blinking for about 60 seconds. Then it's ready. I can take out my sandwich and curble it. What's it called? Crank it through the machine. I go forward and backwards. You need to do that a bit slowly. Also, I added a sheet of paper in my sandwich so it catches the leftover foil that don't reach my paper because the stamp is bigger than my paper. I did that twice, a bigger and a smaller piece. And here I have the negative print of the last foiling. So I have a solid hot foil plate, and I will just foil the rest onto other papers. It never turns out that nicely though. It's a bit of a pity. Now I can cut out my window with one hot foil thingy and put it, start arranging my window scene. I have this tree top from this tree house from Lawn Fawn. The window is also, it's all Lawn Fawn. This is a very handy die cut. It's from the Magic Color Changer, and it's just a bit smaller than the outside of the window, but bigger than the inside. So I can use it to cut out the hole for the window where we see outside into the nature. So I put it there, measured it, cut it out. And now I can mark where my window scene is going to be, so I know where to ink blend. And then I take VersaFine Clear ink and just make a quick blue background. My brushes aren't the best anymore, so they don't go so well. I add a spray on it, and that is it for the background. I didn't want to do too much. Then I want a glass in my window thingy. So I just put it behind the tapestry because it doesn't matter where it is. Just wanted it behind the window, and it's easier to put it here so it can be a bit bigger than aim it behind the window frame and in front of the tapestry. So I just put a piece of acetate there. Now I can glue on the window. I glued it on a bit too low, so in the end I have to trim my carpet a bit, it's too high. I will emboss my sentiment. It says, mögen all deine Wünsche wahr werden, which means may all your wishes come true. I did stamp that 3 times with the normal jet black ink from Lawn Fawn. So it's a bit juicy, sticky, that's why I stamped it 3 times. Added clear gloss embossing powder, and then I heat set it. Yeah, and then that is prepared. Now I want to add my tree and things, and I don't want it on the acetate because you always see glue on acetate. So I try to glue everything on from behind, add glue all over, and just put down my scene, my background. Then I cut it down a bit because, yeah, it was a bit too big. And checked it with the couch where I want it, and yeah. Now I think about the curtain. I want to use this tulle for the curtain, so I don't really know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to prepare 2 parts. So I have curtains on the left and the right hand side, but I already knew this is going to be very annoying, so I'm going to do that off camera. But here you see how I kind of want it, and then I will show you how it turned out. That was a fight. I got the curtains on, but this thing doesn't work with glue. So I had to use score tape, and I used a skewer thing. I just stuck it down first and then draped the curtain, and it holds behind this. It's not pretty. Also, so I forgot my clouds. I could actually put them on now. I could make it prettier. Could make it like a dreamy thing or something. Maybe I'll do that. Okay, I'm gonna add some critters. Here are all my critters, everything I colored. It's for the outside and the inside, so I kind of want to wait until I have the inside done, and then I'm gonna use them. Now I start with the inside. I want to make the library shelf out of this, so I score 1 centimeter for the glue. Then I take 2 centimeters, which will be about 1 inch. And this measurement, this 2 centimeters, I need to keep in mind. I need to make the shelves the same size. Now to make the whole bookshelf, I use a die cut from the pop-up box from Lawn Fawn, which is very nice to make this bookshelf. I cut it out 2.5 times to make this kind of leathery thing. And those cutouts are perfect for the shelves. So I take a smaller measurement, which would not stick out from the shelf. Then again, those 2 centimeters or that inch maybe needs to be the same as the other ones. So here, that part, the first part, needs to be not bigger than where I want to adhere it. That's why I make it a bit smaller. And then 2 centimeters, and the other part is the part that I will glue on to the background. Doesn't matter how big that is. It's going to get covered up by tapestry. Now I have this third leftover die cut piece. I want to attach the feet with that. Here I need my 2 centimeters or the 1 inch first, then a measurement however you want it. I made 1.5 centimeters. Then again my 2 centimeters, that needs to be the same or it wouldn't work. And the leftover will be the glue flap for going onto the background. So this will attach on the second cube. So, yeah, of the thing. Now I was a bit confused here, but again I start with 2 centimeters. This is for the second leg. Then I repeat my measurement, 1.5 centimeters, again 2 centimeters or that inch, and then I need a glue flap. Okay, I will cut that to size later on. Now that is prepared, put it to the side, working on the carpet, and I wanted to have a nice finish, so I found a cool stitched border, which is the wavy border from Lawn Fawn, and made that trim in front of the carpet. I wanted to have tassels, but I don't have a die cut like that. So, and now I can adhere assemble my bookshelf. First I score every line again, and this is where the bookshelf shelves go. So I put on score tape on one of those strips, the smaller one, because that is not bigger than that thing you see in between those holes. And with the legs, I need to put it on the second cube. So I have a glue flap, I have 2 centimeters, then goes the things, the score tape, and then there's another 2 centimeters. But yeah, I hope you understand how I do that. Okay, then I can adhere my shelves. I just bought it up against that thingy there in the middle, that ridge maybe, and the other one too. I made sure that the hot foil is downwards on the outside so one sees it. That would be a waste if one wouldn't see it in the end. And now those shelves fit. Then I take off the other score tape, and now I have a part which I will glue onto the floor. Then the other one I just adhered, and then there's a one that goes through the air, which is 2 centimeters, and then there's a glue flap for the background. It's always so hard to explain those things, paper crafting. When you would read instructions, you would never get what you would have to do. Okay, so now I can adhere the floor part already. Those are 2 centimeters, and they go right in front of the fold of the card. So they don't interfere with the whole card going open and closing. It's all a bit crooked, left and right. It's not that flush. And here I thought, oh no, my glue flap interferes with the shelf, but I folded it wrong. So because it needs to go like that. I need to fold it all the way down. So everything folded down, and then add more score tape on the shelves. Then I ran out of that tape, or didn't have the thinner one here, so I will use glue for the last one for the legs and the top shelf, but you could use score tape as well. So, and they're only on the bottom part that goes on the wall, and here the top shelf with the glue flap. And now I close the card and I go it element by element, so I made sure that they all go flat. Not that one slips when you close it quickly. Then I open it and I'm careful because it's still wet, because the glue is not that quick drying when you want it. When you don't want it, it's very quick. And now I want to do the tapestry. I knew from the beginning that I will have to put it on later, but I thought I can just slip it into the sides. Now I need to cut them to size though. The first one was easy, and then those ones are a bit harder, but I figured where my paper shelf goes, and I just tried to make my lines from there on, from the outside. It worked out fine. Now I cut them, and then I can just glue them all on. I start with the first one, which is very easy, add a ton of glue. But again, here I didn't pay attention that it's flush with the sides, and up on there you see a little white sliver, but it's already too late. I cannot move that thing. It's already stuck. And then I do the next one. So my sides are all a bit wonky. So it's not precision there. Okay, that one too. I could just slip it in and adhere it well with a bone folder and things. Just make sure it sticks. Test it out if it still works. Always important. Then that one I did too. And with the last one, I didn't think of, I would have there's another glue flap, another thing where the legs are adhered. So I had to cut my strip apart, and then I had to be a little carpenter here and cut out those little corners so they go over those attached glue flaps and still meet the other panel in the middle. Yeah, so that has worked out fine, as long as you don't look at the edges, which are left, right, and stuff. Now think about where to put the couch. Do that circa. It's not precise. I thought 4 centimeters would be nice. Then it goes 1 centimeter up. Then again, the same measurement from the beginning. I cut a little off because of the score fold in the middle, because sometimes it needs that space. Yeah, well, that was a bit quick. Yeah, and here again, I needed more of those cubes, so I make 4 lines for a cube. I need 4 of those strips, 1, 2, 3, 4, and another 4. So I cut off the rest, and then I cut that in half. Then I have 2 times 4 of those columns, and then I make 2 smaller cubes because I don't know how I want to use them, and a bigger one. And the same with the other one. In the end, I have 4 small cubes and 2 longer strips where I can make a cube out of it and use on my shelf to adhere stuffs. And those are my mechanisms. Then I put glue on the 4 centimeter line that goes onto the ground. It's crooked, but it works out. and do the same with the second one, because this 4 centimeters is as far as the couch comes out. And then this, yeah. Now I thought, ooh, maybe it doesn't work because I have to put it under the shelf. I put glue on the glue flap on the end, and then I have to put it under the shelf and put it flat, and it works out. It adheres on the back wall, which I wasn't sure if it would do that. And here you see how they come, how they stand out, and I adhere them well, push them down with my pencil, and it works. I'm fascinated by it, how it works. Okay, now I can adhere the couch. Now I didn't think about the couch has this gap underneath, so I have to adhere it on the very top. And they are a bit short, my cubes. They could have been a bit longer, but it's fine. And I took my pattern paper off the carpet so you don't see it that well. And here's just an example how I use my other cubes there. And this one, the long one, is the same, but I will do that off camera. Yeah, because it's hard to do that on camera. So I switched to my table because I am not really fit and I'm not allowed to stand anymore. I should actually lie down, but I want to go on with this card, and I'm just making cubes. You saw me fold brown ones because I want to use the brown ones. Or maybe not. Sometimes they hide completely behind. Oh, that's great. Where's my phone? Yeah, they can hide in the shelf or when they disappear behind a critter. But up here, I'm gonna use some smaller animals. Those worm. Now you don't even see that there's a cube there. So if you use the same as the background, then it blends in. And with the bottom part, I took the carpet part. And this is a patterned paper, so one side is clear. But I made sure that the carpet shows from above, just to make it blend in a bit. And I'll go on with that, and I will show you the result. And here's the finished card. I added those clouds in the front. I think they're kind of funny. And when you open it, this happens. It's very, very full. One thing one needs to pay attention to, the worms, they're on top. They shouldn't look out, so they have to be a bit shorter. They got a bit, I forgot about it and had to peel them off again. I really try with the lighting and it's just so bad. What if I take that off? Okay. Maybe. Okay. So, it's very full. But you have all of those things pop up. You got the hedgehog, the cat, the couch, and in the shelves, those pop up too. And this one I just stuck in between the layers. There. Okay. So, one more time. And now I thank you very much for watching and see you in the next one.